So this is a public announcement from the White House, the Biden administration, about an infrastructure for zero emissions, which means electric trucks. It's going to talk about fuel for hydrogen trucks and basically what's that going to take. And so they just announced this and we got to talk about it. This is a trucking segment here called Now You Know, because it's always good to know what America is trying to do to truck drivers. They have announced publicly on Tuesday a plan, electric charging and hydrogen fuel across the nation. And they want to get this done by 2035 to 2040. So the Biden administration, including Department of Transportation, the EPA, all of them have jumped and got together on this. By 2040, the Biden administration wants 100% of sales to be zero emission. What's going on, Mutha Truckers? Welcome to Mutha Trucker News. Email us at muthatruckernews@gmail.com. This is now the first public announcement that the White House, the Biden administration, has made about infrastructure for charging stations across America. Landline actually had a very good article about this, and so really easy to read. I'll put links down below, but it says a Biden administration releases plan addressing charging infrastructure for zero emission trucks. The federal government has released a national zero emissions freight corridor strategy to accelerate the deployment of zero emission trucks. On Tuesday, March 12th, the Joint Office of Energy and Transportation released its 4 phases plan to create a charging and hydrogen fueling infrastructure for zero emission trucks from 2024 to 2040, focusing on freight corridors, intermodal freight facilities, and high usage ports. The strategy is in line with a goal of 30% zero emission truck sales by 2030 and 100% sales by 2040. So let's break down the strategy here so that you guys can see this. It says the National Zero Emissions Freight Corridor Strategy will prioritize sequence and accelerated infrastructure along key freight corridors and hubs in 4 phases. Number 1, establish priority of hubs based on freight volumes from 2024 to 2027. Connect hubs along critical freight corridors 2027 to 2030. Expand corridor connections, initiating network development 2030 to 2035. And 4, achieve national network by linking regional corridors from access 2035 to 2040. There's a picture here that you can see on Landline. It says phase 1 focuses on medium duty zero emission trucks that typically engage in first and last mile delivery operations. So as far as heavy duty truck drivers, we got none to worry about there. It says about a quarter of the national highway freight network will be included, consisting mostly of Interstate 5, 10, 25, 75, 80, 95, and Texas Triangle, Interstate I-10, 35, 45. The first phase also focuses on strategies with regulations that encourage zero emission truck deployment and names states that have adopted California Advanced Clean Truck Rule. So second phase anticipates early introduction of hydrogen fuel cell trucks and technology for long haul trucking operations and marks the beginning of the Department of Energy's $7 billion regional clean hydrogen hubs plan. Now, phase 3 further expands the network to include a larger percentage of ports and freight facilities and increases access to hydrogen refueling along freight corridors. By this time, nearly 3/4 of national highway freight network will be designed as zero emissions freight corridors. So right here is a map image of that. And the final phase 4 adds truck parking facilities to the zero emissions freight hub network. The plan anticipates all trucks class 4 through 8 and all operations, short haul and long haul, will be utilizing zero emissions technology. So phase 4 is when you will see that it will affect all over the road truck drivers, right? I just want to share all this with you guys. It says the National Zero Emissions Freight Corridor Strategy aims to guide public, private stakeholders' investments, planning, and deployment of zero emission trucks. Amongst the biggest concerns is charging and refueling infrastructure. According to the Department of Energy, there are less than 100 public charging stations available to heavy-duty trucks. There are no public hydrogen fueling stations. So the OIDA has raised concerns about policies related to zero-emission truck deployment with the lack of charging infrastructure, chief among them lack of charging infrastructure. Although zero-emission freight corridor plan addresses that issue, it also impedes another truck parking. Phase 4 calls for charging and refueling a truck at parking facilities, taking up precious space needed for long-term parking. If they're putting in charging stations in parking areas, then that takes away parking for truck drivers. So, Mutha Truckers, what are your thoughts about this? But this is the first national update on this, and so it looks like they want to build infrastructure, and they want to do it with electric charging stations and hydrogen fuel, right? Mutha Truckers, comment down below, but just want to give you that information. Man, I just saw my guy right here. I appreciate you, brother.
What's going on?
And what did you do 2 weeks ago?
Just paid off my truck, getting that bag.
Whoa, in a time when people say the market sucks, it's hard right now.
It's still possible, man. You can make it happen. You just got to grind hard.
Man, I love it. So, I got my man here. He got the Tokyo shirt on. That's what's up, man. I was actually out in Asia just hanging out. We were just talking off camera. You just said, man, you just finally paid off your truck.
Paid the truck off last summer, finally.
Dude. So how does that feel?
Feels good. Thank God. You got to stay gone, so you got to pay it off.
I love that. How about trailer? How close we?
About halfway.
Halfway?
Yeah.
Any advice for people trying to make it in this hard time right now?
I wouldn't even try right now unless you got a dedicated account.
Ooh, that's good advice.
And then at 2021, you stay gone until you pay your equipment off. You can survive, but you really need to be working steady. You got to go with the people that got the work.
Hey, that's great advice, bro. No, I appreciate you.
You can't be running the spot market. Brokers killing you.
Man, you think they really stealing all the money though?
Of course. That's the name of the game. It's capitalism.
Man, I tell you what, man.
It is what it is. As long as someone's going to run it, they're going to keep trying to do it.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's when I started. What was it, like 3 years ago? I've been working towards just getting a dedicated account since the beginning. You say your prayers, you stay gone. I would never come home really to Florida. I'd stay gone for 3 months, and the money was good. I knew. It was good, so you just stay gone. You just go where the work is.
Yeah.
You just got to keep going where the work is, running the spot market.
That's awesome, man.
It just worked out, thank God. Like at the beginning of 2022, I linked up with an old friend that put me on. Small company, but they keep me busy. And,
hey, keep that dedicated account, man.
That's why, thank God, I got hit at the truck stop in Jacksonville when I was parked. I wasn't even there, and the truck was down for 3 weeks in the body shop. Thank God I'm able to, just sit here and wait because I've been running.
I heard that, man. No, I appreciate your time, bro. No, thank you. No. So,
Trucker,
well, yeah. How long you been trucking, sir?
Oh, about 22 years.
22 years.
22 years.
You don't have to say what company or what you're doing,
right?
But employer, owner, operator, sir.
Owner, operator.
And what type of industry? What type of trucking?
It varies.
It varies?
It fluctuates because you have to jump from one to the other so that you can,
Yeah, so maybe, was it?
Searching ourselves.
So it could be reefer, it could be drive-in.
It could be driving, it could be car haulers.
You'll do it all?
Oh, yeah.
You can do car hauler to reefer?
We do all of them. Yeah.
Man, so right now, thumbs up or thumb down? Are you making money right now?
Oh, man, come on. Way down.
Oh, man. But you know what? I think you gave good advice.
Yeah.
So, in 22 years, you have to know how to do a little bit of everything.
You have to be flexible. That's what happens. You have to be flexible. You cannot stick to one industry and then you think you're gonna, because sometimes it goes down, it goes better on one part, and the other part is, it's not much better, but at least you could make something.
I understand that.
Yeah,
so as of right now, you're still making a living?
I still, we're just barely hanging. That's what I mean. We're just barely hanging on.
Now, is that with the truck paid off too, or no?
Oh yeah, the truck's definitely paid off.
So even with the truck paid off,
we barely made. Yeah,
oh
we
my
barely
God!
made it. If the truck hadn't been paid, it would have been repossessed by now.
Oh my God!
Yeah, how would you make payment?
I heard that. So, hey, I love you, brother. No, thank you so much.
Brother.
Yeah.
Good job,
You're the
man.
best.